Last episode, we spoke about the Ouija.
Yes.
We spoke about the good and the bad.
Yes, we did.
We spoke about how it began. How for a long time, a lot of people thought the Ouija was actually good.
Yeah.
And all these people had it in their house. And then one day, The Exorcist comes out, and everybody starts thinking differently, right?
Yeah, they changed their mind.
They did quick.
Yeah.
And we talked about how a lot of people were talking about how now they had like ghosts or demons and shit like that in their houses because of the Ouija board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is the 60s when all this started to happen, right? 60s, 70s, actually.
Yeah.
There was a couple out there working cases
Yeah.
from people who were possessed to people who might have misled a demon or a ghost into their house with the Ouija board.
Yes.
And these are the Warrens,
Ed and Lorraine?
Ed and Lorraine Warren,
Yeah.
Today we're going to be talking about Ed and Lorraine Warren. Raymond, how are you doing today, bro?
Dude, I'm doing really, really good. How about yourself?
I'm pretty good, I'm actually excited for this episode,
Dude, I've been waiting for a long time, brother, to do something like this episode. And special guest, Frankie the Monkey.
Frankie the Monkey's in the house today.
Yeah.
And, we need to touch the plasma ball before we start.
Brother, just because this episode's so special.
It is.
And it's close to being one of the last episodes.
Of this season.
This is going
to be episode 18.
Yeah.
We're going to end at episode 20, right?
And we are.
So we got this one and two more.
Yeah. Okay. So, brother, if you would do me the honor, please.
I can.
Yes.
Oh, yes. And here we go. Another episode. Episode 18, The Warrens,
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one today.
It's going to be a great fucking one. Come on. Ed and Lorraine. I mean, where do we begin? Let's start from the beginning, brother.
Ed and Lorraine Warren,
Mm-hmm.
You got Ed and Lorraine, who actually met back in 1943.
God damn.
You know where they met? We're going to talk everything about them, right?
Yes, everything.
Where do you think Ed and Lorraine met?
Where do I think they met?
Yes,
I have no clue.
You're talking about a person who was a psychic medium, which is Lorraine.
Lorraine, yeah.
And Ed was a self-taught demonologist.
He was a demonologist.
And he was actually kind of like an art major, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
But they actually met in 1943 at a theater.
Like a movie theater?
A movie theater.
Oh, nice.
They meet there, teenagers, sparks fly, They start going out. 2 years later,
Yeah.
Ed is actually drafted into World War II,
What? Oh, see, that's right.
He goes to World War II, So now he goes to World War II. I don't know if he spends a couple of years out there, but when he comes back, it's around 1945, And one of the first things he does when he comes back, he actually marries Lorraine, Can you imagine that, They meet in 1943, 1944, 1945, he goes to the World War II, and I think he was out there for like a year or two,
Yeah.
He comes back, and the first thing he does is he actually marries Lorraine.
1945, you said, right? I think
Yes.
you think you're right. I think that's when they created their own paranormal group, the New England Society.
They get married, and when Ed comes back from the war, they get married, and he actually takes a class in art,
Okay.
He was very interested in art.
Yeah.
And as he's taking art, he always had this thing for the paranormal. And Lorraine, at the same time, she had the thing, she really was very interested in the paranormal stuff, right? Según la plática, es de que he would tell her things about the old house where she lived, que ella sabía que sí eran verdad. Y ahí empezó el spark de que, you know what, tú tienes un don, yo tengo un don. Y se empezó a hacer como que más ese pedo de que, you know what, we should do something together. And they actually became, the first power couple, I want to say, who was doing all this paranormal investigations, back in the 50s, because they started in the 50s,
Yeah.
Now, when they're doing all this, that's when they started. It was 1952 when they founded the New England Society for Psychic Research,
Yeah.
They found this place because they were going to start doing investigations, not just around town, around the country, They're going to start looking for haunted places and things like this. You know how they start, It's funny. They started looking, kind of like on the newspaper or things like that, of the most haunted places, let's say, like, in a radius of, I don't know, 20 to 30 miles.
Yeah.
And let's say they would find a house, like this house, it's haunted. There's stories about this house. They would go to the house, Ed and Lorraine, and Ed, would draw the whole house in a sketch, He make the whole house, They would go up to the owners, show him what he did, and see if they would get a free tour of the house, Mm-hmm. And when they would get those tours of the house, that's when they did their little investigation at the same time,
Right.
So they use that like a bait, You know what? We're gonna start painting the houses, show them off to the owners, and see if we can. With that way, it's kind of like the entry ticket to get a free tour of the actual property, Empiezan a hacer esto ellos, and they actually start doing investigations ya en diferentes partes,
Okay.
Les llegan investigaciones diferentes. Now, we're doing the Warren story today because the way I know the Warrens, is basically the movies.
Yeah.
We've all heard the movies, Annabelle, The Conjuring, Amityville. I think there's more.
Yeah. The second Conjuring, and then you also have The Devil Made Me Do It. But there was also a lot of investigations that were not made into movies.
Yes, that's true.
Yes. So now I also heard a little something. I'm not too sure if it ties in, if it's true.
Okay.
But I heard something about Lorraine, where she was a young girl, that she was actually a nun.
A nun?
Mm-hmm.
Fíjate, I don't know.
Yeah, that she was a nun.
She was a nun when she was a...
And she was actually tormented.
Oh, really?
By a demon named Valak.
No, which is the nun.
The one that comes on the nun. Now, if you've actually paid attention to that movie,
The
Nun, I mean, and within that movie, I don't know if people actually pay attention to it, but are there certain parts, when they're filming inside the house of the Warrens that's in the movie, the name Valak, appears, all through the house,
Oh, really?
Yes,
And was that like part of the movie, or was that like...
I think it was meant to see if, like an Easter egg.
Fíjate, when they give you in the... I don't know if it's the Conjuring 2, when they make the first appear of the nun, I think it is, right, in the Conjuring.
Yeah.
You remember how you get the first vision of the nun, right?
Mm-hmm.
He draws her,
Yes, he does.
Because he's like into art, Y él dibuja, o sea, lo que es esta figura, que es la monja, the nun. And then they bring it to life, in the Conjuring 2. And when they make the movie, the actual movie, the nun, es donde tú ves, yo veía esa historia, like when I saw the nun, I would say, like, okay, how is the nun connected to all this, though? Because in all the other movies, they were investigating things, right?
Yeah.
Pero nunca daba yo, de how did they get the nun story going into, like, how was it connected with each other? Now that you're saying,
Yeah, it was
what
based
you're
on
saying,
Lorraine.
Yeah.
Well, after that, she changed her name, to Lorraine.
Oh,
so, like I said, that's just what I heard. Don't hold me to that. But, what was I going to tell you? In the movie, the Conjuring, once again, I don't know if people pay attention to it, the actual Lorraine Warren, comes out in that movie,
Oh, really?
Yes, cuando están haciendo like a speech, like a presentation at the college.
That's true.
She's sitting down there in the front row.
She's sitting down. That is true.
Yeah.
Yes, the original Lorraine. She actually passed away, what was, like 2 years ago?
Yes. Yes,
See,
she died in April 18.
Because I know her husband had passed away years ago.
Yes.
Like, he did pass away years ago. They were together for a long time.
Yes, they're so lucky. Because you could tell that they literally
they were into it.
They loved each other.
Yeah.
And they love what they were doing. I mean, it was.
Ahora, fíjate, when they started doing the investigations, they weren't charging.
No.
They were actually doing all these investigations throughout the U.S.
Just like we are.
Yes, free of charge.
Yeah.
Free of charge, with the consent that they were going to use this material for interviews, books, way. They actually had a, what do you call it when you go and give like a speech to people, like a...
Yeah, it's like a presentation.
They had presentations in different universities, ways,
Yes.
things like that. So I guess that's where they were making their capital, way. Pero all these investigations that were going on, they were free, way. Ellos iban gratis, way. Y hacían la investigación, way. They would stay in some of the houses, way. Like, they actually slept in some of the houses in the living room with the families when they were actually performing investigations.
Isn't that crazy, way?
It is, way, because you're, what was, like, the 60s when they were,
Yes.
like... Cuando empezó todo fue... If we go in order, way, like we were talking about earlier, way.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing that ever happened was then the Valak incident, which was the nun.
Yes.
Because that's when she was young, way.
Yes.
But if we talk about, like, the most famous one when they were together, grown-ups, we married, you said it was Annabelle.
Annabelle. The whole thing started with Annabelle.
Okay.
That happened back in 1968, if I'm not mistaken, way.
Wait, but there was a lot of controversy surrounding the movie. Because people were emphasizing that the doll that was used in the movie was obviously super different to the original doll. The original doll was a
Raggedy Ann.
A Raggedy Ann.
Yeah.
But the explanation behind it, way, is fucking intense, though.
Yes.
What you're getting to see in Annabelle, that horrific doll, they're making you see the Raggedy Ann through its true colors.
Pretty much, yes.
Como tú ves la Raggedy Ann bonita, pero en la película te están enseñando cómo en verdad se ve por lo que es poseída, güey.
Yeah.
Y mucha gente por eso decían, it's two different dolls. It is, way, but the thing is that in the movie, they're showing you how the real spirit of the doll is. Because what I heard was that Ed and Lorraine would say this way: the doll wasn't possessed by a demon, because there is. I think they said something like, it's kind of hard, or it can happen where a doll gets possessed by a demon, but it can get attached to the doll.
Yes.
And he can work things around and even make the doll move or do things right. Pero Annabelle, way, that's their first investigation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, that whole thing with the whole Annabelle thing, I mean, yeah, it's like you said. People, were like, "Ay, come on," like the dolls, like they don't even match, like they don't make sense. But I mean, if you actually saw the Raggedy Ann doll, who's gonna get scared of a Raggedy Ann doll? You won't. The true story behind the whole thing, way, is like the two nurses, way. You know how?
Yeah.
One of the moms bought it for her daughter, way.
Donna, I think that was her name. The girl.
And they brought her down, way. She would sleep with them in the bedroom, way. One time, she decided to bring her down, way, to have breakfast with them.
Yeah.
And that's when the Raggedy Ann doll, way, put both of her hands, way, on top of the table, way. Like, literally by herself. And instead of these girls being freaked out, way, they were like, okay, let's see what else she can do. And chinga, de ahí comenzó todo el pedo. I mean, it was even reported to one time when they came back from work, way, that literally that Raggedy Ann doll, and you know that Raggedy Anns were just straight up, eran puro cotton.
Yeah.
I mean, no es como...
No se podían ni quedar paradas,
no.
¿no? Tenías que ponerlas como
Yeah.
leaning towards something.
Yes, para que se tuviera para... Well, when they got home, way, that Raggedy Ann doll was literally standing on both feet, way, like just standing, way. Anyway, I'm sorry. Me being a skeptic, way, but that really happened, way. Chinga, way. I would have been out, way.
This is the thing, though. So she gets the doll from the mom, way, as a gift, right?
Yes.
You know what? I think we threw them on kind of a weird trip, way. So it's Donna, way. She's the one that gets the doll. Her best friend, that's her roommate. And the best friend's boyfriend actually lived with them, which his name was Lou, way. Estos tres viven ahí en la casa, le dan la muñeca, they get the doll, right?
Sí, sí.
And they start noticing everything you just said, way. Like the hand things, the doll's moving. The girls in the house, we take it as
Yeah.
Lou over there, the guy, he's like, fuck no. She's fucking moving. Like, he's trying like, he didn't like the fucking doll, way.
No.
This girl's, way, call medium, way. And this medium comes into the house, has a little like session with them, with all three of them and the doll. And she tells them that the doll is being possessed by a 7-year-old girl that passed away in the building. That's why the doll is kind of like playing around.
It's a conduit. Yeah.
Yes. So when they hear this, way, they think like, you know what? They get like a soft spot, way, like, oh, it's just a little girl.
Yeah.
And they continue to have the doll around, güey. La ponían sentada viendo la tele porque para ellos era una niña, güey. Which is the dumbest thing they could have done.
Yeah.
Lou, on the other hand, he's like, I ain't having this shit. Like, we can't have her here. Like, that's not right. No, pues it's the spirit of a 7-year-old. And he's like, it's a ghost. Like, I don't care if it's 7 or 30. It's a ghost. Well, one night, Lou wakes up, like at 12, 1 a.m., and he states that he's like in a lockdown in his body, like he feels like this pressure over his body, where he can't move, like no se puede mover, And what comes here? He raises his head, in his bed, and he states that the doll, was crawling up the bed, que se le siente en el pecho, like it sits down in his chest, and it starts choking him, Lou says that he passed out, The next morning, he wakes up, freaked out, gets out of the room, Donna's not in the house, only his girlfriend, and he asks for the doll, and she's like, no, pues the doll's like over there, in Donna's room. And he tells her, like, I had this experience. She's like, you probably had a dream. He's like, no, it wasn't a dream, it was real. When they're talking, they hear a noise, on the room, and they think it's like a burglar, someone just broke in. They say when they go to the room, that the doll's just sitting straight in the chair, like sitting straight. You just sit it yourself. It was impossible, for that doll to keep like straight, like they would just fall down, So they get scared, Donna gets home, they tell her, and that's where the Warrens get involved. That's when they finally, like, I guess it made some noise or something that I don't know if the Warrens heard about it, and they contacted them, or they like contacted the Warrens, the Warrens come in, they do their own investigation, and they come to that conclusion that that doll, is not possessed by anything. That doll, has a demon attached to it, and that the demon is creating the mayhem. That the demon is making the doll do everything that it's doing. They agree that, you know what? We don't want the doll here. Like, we want the doll out of the house.
Gone.
You take it.
Vete.
They take the doll, The Warrens take the doll. In one of the interviews that the Warrens have, they say that's one of the, like, not scariest ride, but one of the wildest ride they've ever had together,
Yeah.
So they say that as they're driving to their house with the doll in the back seat, the brakes go out on the car, The brakes go out on the car, and the steering wheel, like, messes up, and they almost get into, like, a bad accident, Supposedly, after that, Ed had to, like, throw holy water in the doll, so he could stop, like...
Yeah, the manifestations.
Yes, He does the holy water thing, and boom, they get home. They still get home, They put it, because by now, they have this museum, When they start their little, their society, at the same time they created in their home this small museum where they started keeping, like, artifacts. They had, like, masks that represented demons, They actually had, like, satanic tools, possessed items, or items that had like a demon or something bad attached to them. They had different items, So they bring in the doll, and at first they say that they sit the doll like in a chair.
Yeah.
Boom. They say that they actually saw that doll levitate from that chair, One day a priest comes into their house, to visit them and to see the doll, because the priest is, like, intrigued. I want to know what's up with Annabelle. Ed says that the priest picks up the doll. He picks up the doll, and he's like, it's just the doll doesn't have anything. Boom, la tira, Like, he throws her down.
Well, isn't it where también the priest kind of, like, he, ¿cómo se dice? He kind of antagonizes the doll, and, like...
Yes. He literally, like, picks her up, and he's like, no, he throws her away.
Yeah, I heard that he just told the doll, like, you have no power over God.
He made the doll mad, basically.
Yeah.
He leaves, Hour later, the priest calls the Warrens. I was just involved in a bad accident. And he's blaming the doll. Okay. Pasa el tiempo, they put the doll behind a simple glass showcase. And then they have this incident where a girl and her boyfriend, they come into the museum as guests, and the boyfriend is kind of like tapping on the glass and fucking around with the doll,
and was taunting him.
And they have an accident too.
Well, he died.
Yes, I think. Exactly.
It was a motorcycle. They left on a motorcycle.
Yes, and he dies.
Yeah, but they were kicked out though.
From there, they decided to remove that regular glass, and they had a glass shipped to them from a church. It's actually like a blessed glass from a church that now surrounds the doll till the day. Well, that's pretty like fucking intense, way.
Yeah, that is way. It's just stupidly extreme way.
And that's just Annabelle, way. That's just that one case. ¿Sí me entiendes, güey? O sea, digo, you're talking about a couple, way. That goddamn way. They were fighting like the most evil fucking demons out there back in the day, way.
Yeah.
They were savages, way, because you have a lot of spectacles, way. And like you say, you're one of them. You're like, pues chinga, es que hay cosas que a mí no me... Esto, ¿ah?
It's because sometimes I don't make... No sé, güey.
At
like,
the end of the day, this is how I feel, though.
talk to me.
Look what we do, way.
Yes.
We have a podcast where we talk about scary things and all this, way. But we also have our El Más Allá de la Oscuridad, where we kind of do our little investigations, where we go to these haunted places, way.
Don't be modest, way. We do regular good investigations.
Okay, but when we're there, way, we always get that feeling like, fuck, shit might go down, right?
Yes.
We're going to places, where it's like they're famous by the city because, they have hauntings from this sort to this sort, way. But we're not going to a place where a child, way, is getting fucking, like, thrown around the room by a demon, way. You know what I'm saying, way?
I hear you.
We went to the railroad tracks in San Antonio, way, where you're just pushing your cars, and we fucking felt that anomalous, like that fucking scary feeling at night, remember, way?
Yeah.
And those are kids' spirits, way. But we still felt something like, a la verga.
Yeah.
We went to the Lady Donkey Bridge, or Donkey Lady Bridge.
Donkey Lady.
Still can't get that shit. And we had that feeling, where it was like, a la verga, right?
Yes.
I don't even think we're at a 3% at what they were fucking doing, way.
In the room,
If
shit happened in the room,
if this shit that they were doing, even if you have all these people saying, you know what, it was fake, whatever, the fucking balls, way, to fucking be going for free, way. Even if it's fake, way. But just to go spend a fucking night in a place where a family actually got murdered, to me, way, it's like, goddamn, way, like, it's hard to pick a side, way, de que te estén echando mentiras, porque, yes, way, they made their money, whatever, but they were working for that money, way. It's not like they just got the money sitting at their house just telling stories, way.
Yeah.
They were doing the dirty work. They were doing work that not even churches wanted to do, way, at the time.
Yeah.
They actually had a couple investigations where the churches weren't allowing an exorcism, where the churches were getting denied from fucking Rome, way, to exorcise a person, way. And Ed went in there and kind of cleared out some of this shit. Because, like, you have people that say, no, the story wasn't like that. You have people out there saying, that's exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then you actually have people that say, bro, it was actually worse than that. So, si me entiendes, there's, like, different plots to the stories that they did with, to their investigations with. But at the end of the day, to me, it's like, bro, they still should get, like, a hand clap from everyone, because what they were doing in those days, way, I don't think there was a lot of people doing that shit.
No, that was really, it was cutting edge at the time.
You got a medium, way, and you got a person who can fucking fight demons, way, just going at it, way, around the U.S., way, no mames, way, si me entiendes? Now, we just spoke about Annabelle right now, and we still got a couple more stories that we wanted to talk about from the Warrens, way.
Yeah.
Annabelle was the first story, like, one of the first investigations they had, way.
Mm-hmm.
And look what we just spoke about. A fucking demon attached to a doll, way.
Yeah.
A man just said that he had the doll choking him, like, wait, that was the case to fucking, like, make you pack your bags, way, and be like, fuck this, I'm gonna go paint pictures of birds or something else, way.
Yeah.
And now, way, they were like, you know what? On to the next one, way.
Yeah.
They fixed that problem, because basically, way, Donna stated that after that happened with them and the doll, they never had, like, any issues in their house, in their apartment where they're living. They never had anything else happen to them, way.
That's good. That's a good thing.
¿Sí me entiendes? Y como te digo, that's just Annabelle. But now you have a family in Rhode Island. A family of 7, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I believe so, yes. It's the DeFeos. It became...
No, the DeFeos? You're talking about the
that's the incident.
Amityville.
Yes, well, that happened.
Because the Conjuring family, which is the...
The Perron family.
The Perron. Were they in Rhode Island as well, the Perron family?
Yeah, they were in Harrisville, Rhode Island.
Well, this is the family that actually bought, like, a farmhouse, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So this is the... What's her name?
The
family's name.
The Perron family.
Yeah. They're the Conjuring, basically. The Conjuring is based on them, way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Damn, man.
Yeah, and it's based also on the property that was apparently under... It was cursed. The property was cursed because of a witch that had killed her
Her son.
Her
Right?
son.
This is that property way?
Yeah, that's the one we talked about on that previous episode.
It is. That's true. It just started to like...
It came back.
Bro, it just came back.
Yes, way.
So this property way, it's funny way, but the family that lived there, which is the parent family, when they bought the property, the farmhouse way, they didn't know how old it was way.
No, they didn't.
They actually thought it was just like they just started selling it or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Little did they know it, there was like this house or this farmhouse, whatever you want to call it, 8 generations of this family, not the parent family.
No.
Like the original family,
Yeah.
8 generations of that family had lived in that house. Way.
Yeah.
That house had been built maybe like since the 1700s or 1800s, some shit like that, right?
Yeah, the 1800s.
And yes, way, this is where that witch way committed that sin way.
Yeah, she.
So story goes, she sacrificed her newborn.
Yes.
Because she was a satanist. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Satanist?
Yeah.
Did I say it correct way? I think
No.
Satanist.
You said it right.
Satanist. I don't even want to
Satanist.
say this, but Bathsheba.
Why did you say that?
Fuck way, I said the name. That was the name way. Bathsheba.
Yeah.
So the children, 5 kids, right? Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
like
the parent family.
had 5 kids, right? It was like 3 daughters, 2 kids, 2 boys. I think.
Yes.
They described living in this house way. Bad shit happened. Or almost doing.
It was, and it happened really, really quickly too.
Tell us a little bit, way, because I know we spoke about this, and right now we started saying, I was like, yes, you spoke about this one to the audience, when to the people that don't know what really happened here, way. Can we do like a little recap to them?
We can do a recap to all our fans. Of course we can.
Let's give it to them, way.
Well, when they moved in, I mean, it didn't even take, you know how most places it takes a while before they start seeing
Yeah, right. Like
something.
a year later.
Yeah, no,
Months after.
This happened
30 minutes into it.
No, maybe like a day or two.
That fast, right?
Yes, because when they were moving in, now this is like the real, not the Hollywood version.
It's because, yes, you got to separate this way. There's the Hollywood version and there's the real version, right?
Yeah, the real.
You're giving us the real deed, right?
Yes. This is from one of the little girls that was actually, who went through it, and she was, I think, the oldest one.
Okay.
This is the oldest daughter that, when they started moving in, that first day, that little girl saw the apparition of the old man that actually owned that property.
Shit.
So she saw him. She appeared to her in that house. And then the whole thing about when the birds were actually flying into the house.
That they were like hitting
violently? Yeah. Yes. No, that did happen. That was real.
Damn.
Yes. So, like I said, all these chain of events took place within that first day. I mean, it didn't take long.
Okay.
So that was the situation there with the parent family, and as you know, that the mom started getting possessed. Yes. You know, whatever the entity that was there was
that like far from the truth from the like from the Hollywood movie, or was the mom actually like getting possessed like in real life too?
The mom was actually getting she was. You know, due to the fact that her house was a strong body, so yeah, whatever it was that demon that was taking control of her, and they tried to do a seance. That's when
the worms come in.
The Warrens came in because of a person that knew the people that were living there.
Yes.
He went out of his way to call the Warrens.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yes.
Supposedly the mom or the dad. It's either or way. I think they did like a visit in town way to a grocery shop or something.
Yeah.
And they were telling someone from the town, like someone that they kind of met and knew, and ya hablaban con ellos. Like they started telling them, right, what was kind of going on.
Yes,
and
sir.
that's the person that contacted the Warrens.
Yes, sir.
So the Warrens arrive.
Yes. They tell them, you know what, this is what we do, so and so. They asked if they could, you know, do a walkthrough of the house to see what vibes they get.
Yeah.
Sure enough, you know, right off the bat, Lorraine started getting the feeling in a certain room, and told them what it was, and it was that name.
Okay.
That was there, and so happened. And then they tried to do the seance to the Miss Perrin, the mother, the matriarch of that household.
When they do a seance, wait, what's that? Like a limpieza? What's a seance?
A seance is somewhat like an exorcism. It's like a cleansing.
Of the home or what?
No, of the person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and according to the actual daughter, the oldest, she was in another room looking through a door, and she actually saw her mom being levitated from the chair, and it just got really, 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 really violent. And that's when the dad told Ed and Lorraine to stop, that they didn't what. And that's when the dad actually punched Ed Warren.
He punched him.
Because
you see, in the Hollywood version, they never give you that. They give you, like, it was everything done perfectly, right? Like, they did the cleanup and everything. But in real life, I heard that way, that the dad actually confronted Ed Warren because they felt like they were harming the wife, the mom, right?
And in an essence, they were actually... Because she could have died.
Yeah.
Because as soon as she was thrown down violently, and when she came down head first.
Yeah.
And it was a really, really, really bad thud. So el chingazo que se dio la mamá estuvo gacho. I mean, to the point where she wasn't even moving, dude. Like, she looked paralyzed.
Now, you say, wait, that, like, the first occurrence in this house was, like, within maybe the first, what did you say?
With the first day.
First day. They see this man who was, like, the original
owner of the
property,
house,
right?
yeah.
Then I also saw that the kids stated that they would start it. They started hearing some of them, like the ones that they didn't get to see, like in a fully apparition way. That it started with like scratches. They would hear scratches at night in the walls way.
Mm-hmm.
They'd start hearing like bangings way, like different noises way. And eventually it started like progressing into something like more like bad way.
Yeah.
One of the kids, and I think it's the daughter way. She's the one that mentions that there was different kind of spirits or people in the house. And she's the one that mentioned that Bathsheba was like the worst of them.
Yeah.
Like she knew who she was as well, way. And then the story, like you said it, this person, way, she was a witch, way. She killed her own baby. Was she killed or did she commit suicide?
No, she was hung.
She was hung. Because
Yes.
in the movie, way, The Conjuring, where there's this scene, way, where Ed and Lorraine just arrived to the house where I think they're in the backyard. And she's talking about something, and then boom, te ponen como los pies de una mujer que está colgada, güey.
Yeah.
Are they referring to this one?
Yeah,
Because only she can see it, and the movie, like, Ed can't see this, and she's like staring at something, and when they like focus the camera, está como una señora colgada, pero Ed no la puede ver, nomás ella, güey.
Yeah.
Now I heard the story of this, evil witch that was in the house, güey. Is it that witch with the one that they put there que está colgada? Debe ser, ¿verdad? Because la colgaron.
Yeah, they did. In that old ass, and that was a really.
Did you know that her grave site way was like not that far from the house way, where they actually buried the witch, or that crazy lady way?
Well, now they're saying that Bathsheba way, that she really wasn't the actual. The actual bad person.
Oh shit!
That it was actually somebody else.
Maybe it was whatever was possessing that girl.
Yeah, and
I get it.
Pero even at that way, like if you go visit the cemetery there in
fuck no, I wouldn't.
Her tombstone way, they removed her tombstone way.
Really?
Yeah, because people were coming to desecrate it way, like they were damaging it. So the city way where she's buried way, they said, "Saskia, no, we're gonna take it and put it away."
I heard that this family way, the parent family actually left the house around 1980.
Yeah.
And that's supposedly when they like got enough money way to actually move out way.
Yeah, get up and go.
Way, they had to be there for a long time way.
Yeah.
Qué culero way, todo eso que les pasó ahí. And I go back to the Warrens, right?
Yeah.
So they get kicked out of the house for trying to help.
Yeah.
Maybe es que es como pienso yo, güey. O sea, tú eres el esposo, estás viendo lo que le está pasando a ella, güey. And obviously you think he's the one, like. But in reality, they're there to help, güey. ¿Sí me entiendes, güey? Y está cabrón, because I see it like this, güey. Like, so this is kind of their second investigate, like their second hardcore investigation.
Yeah.
Güey. Acaban con esto, los corren. Yeah. ¿Sabes que we don't need you guys anymore?
4 years down the line, way.
What happens next, way?
Amityville.
God damn.
Fíjate. Now, this investigation, as you know, made headlines
Everywhere.
around way,
Yeah.
around everywhere, around the world way. It became a movie way, and I mean, Jesus Christ way.
There's 4 different movies, way.
Yes.
4 different movies to the fucking Amityville. I
Fíjate,
just
güey.
saw that way. I've only seen like the Ryan Reynolds one way, which is like 2005, 2006 way, I think.
Fíjate, and that movie was intense way, but if you look at the 1978, 79 version,
The
way,
original one?
oof,
Oh yeah, the original one is crazier. When they lock the kid in the closet, way.
yes,
That's the scariest fucking scene, way. Cuando lo meten al closet, that I think the parents go to town to have dinner, way.
yeah.
And the babysitter locks him in the closet playing around. Y que vale verga, güey. Do you remember the movie? Fuck. The one that he says, I see dead people. What was that movie?
The Sixth Sense.
The Sixth Sense, way. Remember that scene when the fucking kids, way, locked the poor boy in that little, like, fucking tower
I hate
thing
it that
in the
way.
house,
Yeah,
way?
they were up the stairs way.
Hey, way, and you start hearing the fucking voice of a man's, like, fail, way. I'm guessing, like, that's exactly, way, what you have over here happening for fucking real, way.
Yeah,
So the Amityville, way.
Amityville.
The original story goes, a family lived in there, right?
The first family was the DeFeos.
The Fayos, right?
Yes,
Family of what, 5, 6, I think, no?
5 or no?
Because I know it was the dad, the mom, and I know there was 2 little ones, a medium, and the older. No, it wasn't.
No,
4,
2.
6. I think so, wait, because I know for a fact that it was the mom and the dad. He killed both of them,
Yeah,
and I know he killed like a little boy and a little girl, wait.
yeah. Those.
So I don't know if it was 5 or 6, way. Pero este güey, o sea, the oldest of the family, way, one fucking night, way, one day.
Yeah,
Well, it was at night, actually, right?
yeah.
Or in the
No,
morning.
it was in.
Because they were sleeping, way.
Sí, esto pasó en la madrugada.
Madrugada, AM hours.
Yeah, because nobody.
Hey, when, this is the weird thing. He gets a shotgun,
Yes, Wayne.
and he shot everyone in their bed.
Yeah.
It's a shotgun, way. How can you not hear a shotgun? Wey? That's my thing, way. Está la mamá muerta, güey, y el papá muertos con el tiro en las cabezas, güey. Y no se ve que, like, they don't look like they struggled to move. Like, they were killed in their sleep.
Yeah.
And the kids, güey, as well, güey. O sea, nadie no oyó nada, güey.
I tell you what, wait. Where I live right now, wait, I don't live too far away from the train tracks, wait.
Okay?
Sometimes they go down on the AM hours, wait. Chinga, wait. As soon as I hear them coming, wait, I'm a heavy sleeper.
Yeah.
As soon as I hear the train, wait, I'm like, irritated. And I was thinking the same thing, being a skeptic, wait.
Yeah.
I also wonder, wait, how is it that you can't hear
Nadie no oyó eso.
a shotgun, way go off in your house, way?
Yes.
Like, no sé, it baffles me, way, really, really bad, way, how, and what this kid did, and the DeFeo kid, was completely horrid, way. It was just like
Ronald DeFeo. That's his name, Ronald.
fucking Ronald, way.
So he killed
Stupid
the whole
name.
family, way.
Stupid name.
Yes.
Ronald.
He kills the family, way. Story goes that he goes to a local bar
Yeah.
or restaurant or bar, one of those.
Bar.
And he tells the people, I need help. Someone just murdered my family.
Yeah.
They all go to his house, cops and everyone. They find the family all dead. And they take him, way. Just to custody, just for protection, way. While in custody, way, es como que donde se dan cuenta que, okay, there was no break-in. So, esto pudo haber sido de adentro.
Inside
And,
job.
yeah, they start like, pum, 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 like defacing everything. Y cuando lo empiezan a investigar a él, güey, he had 2 versions to the story.
Yeah.
His first version was, he never mentioned anything about demons or anything like that.
No.
His first things was that there was a mob guy that he owed money to, and that this mob guy went and killed his family, except him. To the cops, they kind of knew who the mob guy he was talking about was, but they didn't really take it into consideration because it was like, okay, you owed them money, and they killed your family. Why didn't they kill you? They actually investigated the man, and he was actually out of town, way. That guy. Then, I don't know if it was like days later or how it goes, that he comes out with it wasn't me.
I was possessed.
I was possessed. Something took over me. That's what, like, fucking, like, set up all the alarms all over the place. Like, this kid He was possessed by the devil, by a demon. He murdered the whole family. While this is going on, way, the house goes up for sale, right?
Mm-hmm. For cheap.
Yes, we like, let's say the house, like in that area, the houses were, I don't know, let's say 150,000. I think this house was being sold at 75, half price. Yeah. And that's when you have the Lutz family, right?
Yes.
The Lutz family are actually the creators, way, of the Amityville horror, way.
Yeah.
They lived in this house for a full month, way, and within a month, packed their bags and they left, way.
Yeah.
When approached by news people, by everyone, they started, stating this, that the husband started feeling weird and he was like getting messages from someone telling him to murder his family, güey. Y se hace el pedo, güey, tan grande, güey, que ahí vienen los Warrens, güey. When the Warrens arrived to this case, to the Amityville case, ya tenía como que un build-up of a hoax, güey.
Yeah.
Como que esto no es de verdad. So they go into the Amityville house, pues para hacer el investigation, and it was done in 1976. That's when the Warrens go into the house, way. When they start doing their investigation, there's actually a video, way. If I can get the video, way, I don't know, we can actually play it in our page. There's a video of, in 2014, Lorraine Warren was actually interviewed in her own museum, way, by a guest, way. And he asked her, which is like the scariest place you've been in? We spoke about Annabelle. We spoke about the Conjuring, all those things. And there's other cases that we haven't even spoken about. She said, the scariest place, or the place where I felt the most danger, was in the Amityville house. She says it on a live interview. She's like, you can give me $1 billion and I wouldn't go inside that house. You go back way to 1976 when they actually make their first visit to the houseway. She states that when they arrived to the houseway, she felt the presence, like some heavy presence of a demon, way, a demon in the houseway. She states, way, that as soon as she got to the property, way, she saw someone in the window.
Really?
An apparition. She doesn't describe if it was a man or female. She just says that she saw an apparition in one of the windows. If you see the movies, way, Amityville, way, it's funny because I think like she said she saw an apparition, way. Pero eso se dijo, no sé si antes o después que se hizo la película. And in the movie, way, supposedly there's a scene, way, where they take a shot of the house, way, and dicen, way, que you could actually see someone in the window, way. And that's not part of the...
It's not part of the movie.
No, way, that's not part of the movie, way. So pasa eso de que llegan a la casa, she feels all this shit, way. And they go ahead and they contact this local photographer from the town.
A photographer?
Like profesional, güey. And they ask him, if he can help them with some pictures in the house. And the guy agrees to it. He goes with them. And what they do is they set up like infrared automatic cameras that would pick up like any kind of movement.
Yeah.
Jumping back to the Lutz, they lived there for a month. The dad, he would always say that at night, he would see this, not a demon or an entity, like he would see something that had red eyes, like bright eyes. And this thing with bright eyes was the thing telling him to kill the family. Going back to the Warrens, when they set up the cameras,
yeah,
they catch a picture, and this picture, we're gonna put it right here so you guys can see it. It's a picture of a little boy.
Oh my God, no way.
Yes,
Hey, wait, I saw that picture,
Okay, tell me what you think of the picture,
That picture is sinister,
It's fucking sinister.
It's sinister, I couldn't sleep,
1976, okay?
Yeah.
Está muy cabrón, que hagas un Photoshop en esos años. That's
I don't even think that was invented, that nobody knew what Photoshop was,
Exactly.
But yeah, I know where you're coming with that, I mean, and I get you, pero that little, no sé, something about that little boy,
It's a little boy, yes. The picture, you guys see it right here. It's a little boy, what you can see are bright eyes, like fucking glowing eyes. It's in black and white, but you can still see, like, they're fucking bright, like glowing. And if you were to choose a color for that brightness, I don't know why, to me, it's red. I don't know why, to me.
Yeah, like his, no.
So I was always thinking, like, maybe that's what the Lutz dad was saying that he saw. The picture está bien culera,
It is,
You can see the stairway.
Yeah.
And the little boy's, like, coming out of the room. And they say, that little boy actually looks like one of the kids that was murdered from the original family, the Safos or whatever.
The Feos.
The Feos, the Feos. They say that the little boy in the picture looks like the little boy from that family.
That was murdered there, yeah.
Yes, Está bien culero ese pinche investigation. A mí, from all the movies, fíjate, from Hollywood. Amityville, Conjuring, Annabelle, The Nun. I think Amityville was one of the... Ese Conjuring, güey. Al chile son como que las que más me...
Yeah.
Wow, decía yo. Like, whoever went through that shit, güey. Damn, güey. Para que puedas vivirlo y contarlo, güey. No mames, güey. Like, to continue with your life, güey.
I don't think you can, güey. At least not normally, güey. I mean, because eso siempre va a estar contigo, güey. That stigma is always going to be with you, too, güey. That que, oh, shit, you live in that house, you're a weirdo.
Now imagine this, güey. Los niños, güey. O sea, imagine saber de que estabas durmiéndote en la cama donde mataron a otro niño, güey.
Because they were the original beds, ¿verdad?
Everything se quedó, güey. Like, everything stayed, güey. They just, like, moved in with their clothes, güey, basically, güey. ¿Cómo está ese pedo, güey? Like, how, güey?
It's crazy, güey.
Yes, güey. You don't remember this movie, Sinister?
Yeah.
Same shit, güey. That this guy looks for houses where, like, fucking fucked up crime happens, güey. Y va y se mete con su familia a vivir so he can get the idea of the fucking experience. Hey, wait. I remember when I saw that movie, I was like, why? Why do you have to go live in it?
It's because it's a rush way for some people. Way it's their rush way.
Plus, in that movie, he was a professional writer.
Yeah, who was it? Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke, güey. He was a professional. Hey, güey, esa movie está bien cabrón. Eso sí, güey. I always thought this. The bad guy from that movie, güey, I always thought he looked like the guitarist from Slipknot, güey. Al chile, güey.
Right.
Exactly alike. If you put the guitarist from Slipknot and the guy from Sinister, parecen hermanos. You could even throw Kane, güey, from the wrestling, way. He looks like that guy. But going back to the Warrens. So the Amityville, güey, produced 4 different movies. They produced books, güey.
Yeah.
They actually made some good money, the Lutz too, way. That family made their money. They got a divorce in the 80s, I believe, and both of them passed away. 2013, way, their oldest son, way, comes out with a telltale.
Was that, see, el tell-all?
Where he's going to tell all.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought, way, that he was going to come out and, like, defame everything. Like, no, todo el pueblo, but wait, have you seen the video?
No, I haven't.
I saw it on YouTube, way.
Was it good?
Yes, way. Because the way he's fucking saying it, I mean, he looks older, way. Yeah. Y no se ve que está tan acá, pero, way, the way he's, like, saying the stuff.
He looks credible.
It looks credible. It looks credible.
All right.
He's saying in the video that all that happened in that house, it's true, way.
Well, shoot me the link, way. I want to see it then.
I'm going to give you a link so you can see it. Now, from Amityville.
Yes.
Where did they go, way?
Amityville moved 2 years, way, 1977, way. They investigated allá, way, in North London, way, in Enfield, England, way. Now, this was the poltergeist, way. This is what gave the Conjuring 2, way. It's the lady that had her...
The daughters, right?
The daughters, way.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Oh, my God, that way. It was...
Ese caso, ¿cómo estuvo el original? Because, look, way, I only knew the original Conjuring, the first one, the original case, the one of the Perrin family, because you had brought it to the table last time.
Right.
So that's how I got my knowledge from that case. For the Conjuring 2, it's actually the case you're just talking about.
Yeah.
What's the name of the family?
The name of the family was, I believe they were...
Es que ese case lo llaman más like the England case, right? Because that's
yeah.
I mean, the London case.
Yeah. Well, what happens with that one, way, is the London case was in 1977, where they met I'm going to see if I can say this right.
Okay.
The Hodgson family.
Hodgson family. Okay.
Hodgson family. Yes. And where this single mother of 4, had an incident where there was a poltergeist in her house. And, of course, it happened with her oldest daughter, where she started acting weird y todo, and, she kept hearing noises in the room and whatnot. And, one thing led to another. They thought, the people that were around there thought it was a hoax until they actually, and I know that in the movie, it showed where the police officers, those police llegaron and...
Hicieron inspect la house.
See, and then things started moving.
Yeah.
No.
That didn't happen.
No.
Did they go to the neighbors?
Yes.
Because in the movie, like, they ran out of the house, and I think they go to the neighbor's house, right?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Now, that did happen, pero era the neighbors, the one that witnessed it, way.
Okay.
And then they did call somebody from the news media, and the people from the news media are the ones that experienced the paranormal phenomenon going on in the house.
Okay.
To where then they get into contact with the Warrens, They do fly out the Warrens to come out there. Llegan, and automatically they started experiencing all these things where, things were being flown off the wall. They were thrown at them, and led to this case where they helped that little girl out.
Okay.
It did happen where they did film. They got the part where she had faked a couple of things.
Yeah.
And they did leave, but it came back to where Lorraine Warren did have. She had a vision. They turned back, and that's where they solved that case.
So that does kind of match with the...
Pretty much. For the most part, I mean, it was pretty much...
so it wasn't that off from the movie, way?
No.
Now, in the movie, they play this part where the kid sees this, like, Slender Man.
Mm-hmm.
Did that happen, way?
That did happen, and that actual toy, way, is actually at the Warrens' basement, way.
They took it.
Yeah, that one's actually there. But the thing with the tree, that's no, that one wasn't.
Esa no era verdad.
No.
Okay.
That's
now, in The Conjuring 2, way, there's a scene where Valak makes an appearance in the London house.
Yes.
Was that part or no?
Yes, it was.
So it did come...
Yes, because of Lorraine.
Oh, shit.
Yes. Yes, so...
I want to know, wait, do you think that was real, though, that Ed actually painted that picture with in real life?
I want to say it was.
Because this is like a demon or something that was kind of attached or like chasing Lorraine all her life, way, basically.
Yeah.
So entonces cuando they have the London case, way, they actually see this demon out there too, way.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, way.
Of course, the painting of this demon Valak was completely different to what you saw.
Yeah, what we saw in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, it was a different painting. It wasn't a nun, but chinga, I think that the nun was a lot nicer than
the original.
Painting. Yes.
We're gonna see if we can find it.
Yeah, we'll see if we can.
So we can post it. Wait, pero imagine you have the Conjuring 1 and 2 in Hollywood, right?
Yes.
And a lot of the people, I include myself, when we saw these movies, it was like, no mames, like if this really goes on, like out there, like this is like something que no, güey, yo nunca, o sea, para mí lo más cabrón que yo había visto, güey, por película, era The Exorcist. I think that's one of those movies que wow, like it really marked me, güey, like fuck, like that, if that happens, güey, a la verga.
Fíjate, that was mine too, which was The Exorcist and the original It. Mm-hmm. That one too, but I mean, of course, but still, way. I mean, these are.
Pero es que, look, if you put, por decir, como yo tenía la de Freddy Krueger, una de las que me dan miedo.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes. If you actually put, like, let's say, Nightmare on Elm Street, The Exorcist, Conjuring, 1 and 2, even Annabelle, güey. Si tú te pones a ver de todas esas, güey, ¿cuáles son las más cabronas, güey? I think, güey, that it's like the Conjuring movies, güey.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you go to, like, the Nightmare Before Christmas, if you go to Nightmare on Elm Street, man, pues you know that you have this thing where you know that it's kind of like, está muy cabrón que pasara eso, güey, que quemen a alguien, güey, si pasa, pero que de vuelva y te ataquen los sueños, that he would, like, kill you in your dreams, like, eso, like, you kind of, like, you know, that's a movie, güey.
Yeah.
The Exorcist, on the other hand, was like, a la verga.
Yeah, no,
that was, like, the top-notch shit that could happen to you was being possessed by a demon, güey. And then you have these movies, way, where they're being possessed, way. Because I don't know, in the second one, I don't think no one's being possessed, right?
The little girl.
Oh, that's true, the little girl.
Yes.
But now you have people getting possessed, and at the same time that they're getting possessed, you have like como un different angle, way, to the story. Because in The Exorcist, cuando se sale del cuarto la pinche toma, you feel safe, way. Like, when you're watching The Exorcist, every time they're not in the fucking room, like, you feel good seeing the movie, right? Like, no tienes miedo, way.
Yeah.
It's always till they go into the room and they see the little girl, way. With the fucking Conjuring movies, way, you feel scared, like, when the movie starts till when the fucking movie's over, way. Like, es un pinche non-stop, like, terror, way, que no acaba, y es en todas las películas.
Y fíjate que what made it worse, I think, to me is, like, right after the movie's over, es cuando ponen the actual recordings.
Oh, yes.
And then the photos, bro. I mean, the photos are just... I mean, the little girl way just being, like, bent way, like an accordion way.
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, not to like scare you or anything, but I don't know if you remember this. We did an episode where I think it was called Possessions.
Yes, no. I know where you're going. You know.
And there's some good audio and some pictures in that episode that get
Yes.
Till the day I won't go back and hear that episode again.
Dude, I didn't even.
I heard it. I heard it completely. Possessions. People, if you haven't seen this episode, you gotta check it out.
No, don't do it, because then you won't sleep.
It's scary. For real, and I still say it's one of the scariest episodes we've done. But
it's the scariest way.
I hear that episode, and what comes to mind is not just the episode, the shit that was happening in the studio that day.
There was a lot of weird shit happening here that day.
From noises to all this shit, right?
Oh yes.
Let's come back to the Warrens. To the Warrens.
To the Warrens. Now we're gonna go into the 80s, bro.
Okay.
We're gonna move it to the 80s.
The London case, real fast. When did it happen? What year was this?
This happened, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 1977.
And then you go to the 80s.
Yes.
A new investigation.
Now,
just to know this to the people.
Yeah.
We're giving you guys the top-notch investigations. Basically, we're giving you the Hollywood movies in real life.
Yeah.
But in between these years, they were doing maybe 10 to 15 other investigations that we don't really know of, because they didn't make a movie of them.
No.
But they actually had different investigations going
Yeah,
on.
they did.
So in the 80s, what happens,
80, come around 1981, you have Arnie Cheyenne Johnson,
Oh, I know where you're going.
Yes. Now, he was accused of killing his landlord,
He was?
Yes.
Did he stab him, or what did he do?
Yeah, he did,
He stabbed him,
He
right?
stabbed him,
Multiple times. Damn.
Yes, prison style,
Richard Ramirez style.
Yes, And then Ed and Lorraine Warren, because they had been called prior to the killing to deal with what's called the alleged, It's alleged demonic possession.
First ever case in the United States where they were blaming a possession for a murder, right?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Boom.
Now, according to them, that's why we said alleged demonic possession, which happened with the young brother-in-law of his but subsequently claimed that the Johnson was also possessed but like I said, we really can't know for sure, because at the end of it there were este muchacho already did say that he had made it up that he really wasn't possessed, he just wanted to get away from the family, he had nothing to do with him, so I'll leave it up to our fans' good judgment.
I'll tell you this much, this is what I know in my investigation.
Talk to me,
So I saw the movie, The Devil Made Me Do It.
That's a good movie.
Funny fact. I had seen this case
okay,
prior to the movie, maybe 2 years before, and I saw it on I think it was like YouTube. They had already made like an episode. I don't know what show it was, or what it was for, but they had already made an episode based on this event.
On a haunting, probably.
On this hunt, yeah. And when they speak about it, pues sí dicen eso, like Arnie, he blacks out, because the landlord is kind of like saying bad things to his friend or some shit like that.
Yeah.
La muchacha trabajaba con el landlord, or trabajaba en un bar, and I think the landlord was like aggressively hitting on her.
Terrible,
To the point where like Arnie confronts him, and when he confronts him, he says that he blacks out, and when he wakes up, he's walking on the side of the road full of fucking blood, and he doesn't know what happened. That's when the sheriff stops by, which is true. Those events did actually happen in that order. He kills the man, he just walks away. The girl and the other guy they're just freaked out of what just happened, and they just stand there. Este güey dice que when he got conscious, this happened at night, like at 2 a.m. or some shit like that.
Oof.
This guy, comes back to conscience like at 7 a.m. He's walking on the side of the roadway. You got this guy walking with a white shirt full of blood. He tells the sheriff, I think I heard someone. Y empieza el case, Ahora, él mismo dice años después,
Yeah.
that this is all fake, that he just wanted to get away from it and all this, right? There's this rumor, going around, or that was going around, que según a él le habían prometido, o le habían ofrecido, que le podían bajar a años, porque si no estoy mal, le dieron vida en el bote, ¿no?
Yeah.
They had offered him, I think, que le habían hecho como que le iban a cortar el tiempo si decía que si admitía correctamente.
So he got a plea deal.
So, ese es el pedo, de que no sabe si en verdad Él dice que no es mentira porque querían que le bajaran el tiempo, que a mi entendido todavía está en el bote, ¿no?
Yeah.
O no pasó.
Pues, I mean...
What I know is that the judge really wasn't having it way when he found out that the Warrens were like going to visit him in jail. Because I guess the judge didn't want to have like what he said in his words, a freak show going on in his court. Pero, way, that was the first time in America, way, or maybe in the world, where they were blaming, way, a demonic possession, way, on a murder, way.
Yeah.
Y te pones a pensar, way. Because I remember, way, we had an episode where we spoke about this movie. And to me, it was like, well, if that was the case, way, how many people have done something like that, way, and are in jail right now? Y dicen, way, que no fueron ellos, way.
Pues fíjate, way, I want to say that there are, way, a lot of innocent people, way, behind bars.
Yeah.
Over stuff that they didn't do, way, and...
I'm referring, way, in the way, what if a lot of people, we have been possessed before doing a crime like this? ¿Sí me entiendes, güey?
I do, but then again, te pones... Bueno, menos yo.
Es el sentido del cerebro, digo, el humano, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Pero, I mean, if that was the case, if this case would have break through, güey, es que ponte a pensar también, now you gotta sit on the other side of the law. Let's say this guy, you go for it.
Yeah.
He was possessed. ¿Qué vas a hacer, güey? ¿Le vas a dar libertad, güey? What if it happens again?
Well,
now,
see,
what if you give him liberty y a los 2 días otro güey mata a alguien y dice, I was possessed?
Pues a eso vamos, I mean...
Porque este es el pedo también. And this is where, fíjate, I'm kind of like joining into your side. If this was true, güey, I'm pretty sure by now, 2022, we would have heard of many more cases where people would say they were possessed. That's what I think, right? But this is like a unique case, güey. Because before the incident where he murders the man, the girlfriend states that he wasn't being himself for like 2 weeks prior to the incident, I think. I think there's an incident where she speaks in the movie, I think, or in the documentary, that one day they're kind of like having relationships or something, way, and this guy just kind of snaps, way, and just gets up and starts fucking walking away. Y que se va a la cocina and he's like in like a fucking trance, way.
La La Land. Wey.
Yes, way. Esto es prior, way, a lo que pasó, way.
Pues, I mean, then again, it could be a lot of things. I mean, it could be drugs, way. It could be, I mean...
Drugs, it can be, what do you call that thing, that disorder, way, that people have when they just fucking...
Bipolar disorder, way. It could be depression, way. I mean...
No, what's it called?
Schizophrenia.
Schizophrenia, way.
You think he was a schizo?
It could have been, way.
Yeah.
It could have been like, remember that movie where the guy has like different personalities?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard, way. At the end of the day, again, way, the Warrens, way.
Yes, way.
They came, they tried to help this man out, way, because I know that they were in there for a while with him, way. Was Ed still around when this happened?
Yeah, he actually got a heart attack, way.
Really?
Yes, way. In this movie, actually, in this case,
Investigation,
way,
yeah.
he actually got a heart attack, way.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
And he passed away from something from the heart, right?
Yes, he did.
He actually passed away. I don't remember what year he passed away, but I do remember, like we said in the beginning, way, he had passed away way before Lorraine.
I have you here, brother. I got you covered. He died August 23rd, 2006.
2006.
At the age of 79, way.
Wow.
Yes, way. So, chinga, he was around for a while, way.
Fuck, way, the Warrens, way. I mean, they have different movies on them. They should just have one movie about the Warrens, like
about their life,
about their lives, way. Because here you have a couple, way, that they just fucking face the bull by the horns, how they say.
You know who I think doesn't get enough credit, way?
Who?
Their daughter Judy.
Oh, she went through a lot of shit.
She went through a lot of shit.
We need to talk right now. I think right now in the present day, her husband.
Yes.
Is the one in charge of the museum. Her and her husband, I believe.
Yes.
They're the ones in charge of the museum. The museum is still open right now, right? Like, you can still go visit this museum.
Yeah, you can.
Wait, yo he visto videos, güey. I've never, like, obviously I've never been there. En los videos que he visto, güey, they have a shit ton of items, güey.
Yeah.
A shit ton of items. Now, I don't know if you've seen the video, güey. We'll see if we can get some pictures to put here so you guys can get a glimpse of the museum. Wait, they have over 100 items. And we just spoke about 4 cases or 5 cases, right?
Yeah.
They have over 100 items. Wait, tienen chingo de cosas. I didn't want to get off very off track, wait, but there's a movie, wait. And I think it's Annabelle Comes Home. I don't know if this is the movie where Ed and Lorraine step out of the house and the daughter, Judy, she stays in the house and the babysitter comes over and they actually go and open what is now the museum.
Yeah, the babysitter's best friend.
Yes, güey. They open up the museum and según, güey, que pasaron chingo de cosas al punto de que la muñeca Annabelle se había vuelto a salir del case.
Yeah.
That's como te digo, es la película la de, I don't know, I think it's Annabelle Creation or Annabelle Comes Home, güey. Now that movie, I don't know if it's far from, if that actually happened to them, that they actually stepped away from the house and all that shit happens. Pero yes, güey, props to the daughter because, güey, hay una película que también hay una escena donde I think they're like in a house doing something y que acá en su casa estaba yendo verga con la abuelita y la niña, güey.
Yeah, güey.
Y ahorita, pues sí, güey, ella es la dueña del museo, güey, ella y el esposo, güey. I don't know if they're like dedicated to doing research on paranormal stuff or what, güey. I think they just run the museum, right?
Yes. I mean, I wouldn't do it, güey. I mean, you're me personally, if I could, güey, me.
As the son of them, güey, I think I would have sold everything.
I would have sold everything too, güey.
Did you know there was a time where Ed and Lorraine actually, she wanted a huevo en su museo, a Robert the Doll?
Really?
Yes, they wanted Robert the Doll and they couldn't get their hands on that doll.
Going on that way, you know how I have my hatred towards Zach Bagans, way.
Yes.
Bueno, supposedly, way. I don't know how true this is. That apparently, way, Zach Bagans actually owns something from the museum of the Warrens, way.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Damn.
So, I'm not sure if it's the Annabelle doll that he has now.
Yeah.
In his possession. But I know that he has a specific item, de los Warrens. But once again, fuck Zach Bagans, way.
I wouldn't take anything from that museum, way.
I wouldn't take anything from anywhere, way.
Watch it. Look at this, way. eBay, way. Did you know that in eBay they actually sell cursed items, way?
I remember that episode, way.
Yes, way. Yeah. The opposite that when we spoke about the cursed toys and all that shit. Yeah. eBay sells shit like that, way. But imagine getting something from their museum. Like, if you could get any item from the museum, would you actually pick an item, way? As a souvenir, way?
I mean, not to me, but to gift, maybe.
What the fuck was that, way? I heard like a little...
Yeah.
Last question, though. If you were to visit the museum, would you do what a lot of people that go to the museum do and take a picture next to the Annabelle doll?
No.
Fuck no, right, way?
No.
Have you seen that a lot of people do that shit, way?
You know why I wouldn't go, way? One, because I'm a big person, way. I'm a plus-size man, way. And I don't think... If I bump into something, way.
Yeah, you're just gonna touch it and body.
Yeah, way. Yeah,
I'm the same way. I think that if I go in there, like something's gonna come with me. Way.
Yeah,
and I'm way. Like, I mean, we want to visit the museum in Las Vegas, way, que también tienen muchas cosas.
Yeah, Zach Bagans.
Zach Bagans.
Fuck Zach Bagans.
Which one would you visit though, the Zach Bagans or the Warrens?
The Zach Bagans one.
Zach Bagans. Yeah, it's because I feel like the Warrens is like real shit.
Yeah, so acá este vato acá, he's a... I don't know. He's a habitual liar.
I don't want to say anything bad about this guy because honestly, with all honesty, I feel this guy is like, I'm not gonna say he's the Warrens of our generation. No. But he's an innovator in all of this, way, in all of the paranormal and all the videos and all that.
Fine.
So I'll give him that. We're gonna give him that.
Fine.
The Warrens, to close it out, way, chingado, way. Mad respect to them, way. Mad respect to all the work they did, way.
I respect everything they did, way. I mean, I'm a huge fan of them. Way, I wish I could have met them when they were alive, way. And ahorita, way, that they're gone, way. I mean, I just, get them descansando en paz, way.
And I'm pretty sure there's people out there, way, that, they think that they might be fraud, whatever. But I'm pretty sure there's people out there that actually feel thankful.
Oh, yeah.
Because in some day or time, they actually got the help they needed from the Warrens.
Yes.
And with that, we come to a conclusion on this episode. We hope everybody likes this episode. They enjoyed it. We did. I'm pretty sure I'm going to listen to this episode in the fucking daylight.
Dude, I loved it.
But we invite everyone to visit our TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. What else do we got?
Twitter.
We got a Twitter now.
Yeah, we have a Twitter.
Oh, we have your Twitter.
I have my Twitter.
We got to create a Beyond the Darkness Twitter.
Yeah, we
That's
do.
True.
Too, because
Pero we're going to set the pages at the end, wait, because I know right now we got the Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and I feel YouTube, obviously, way.
Yes.
OnlyFans. We're gonna make an OnlyFans, way. We're gonna make an OnlyFans, so that might work.
We have to.
A Patreon way. Patreon or OnlyFans. We should make one of those way.
Yes, I mean, chinga, I mean, we have a lot of loyal people way that follow us way. But anyways, I mean, you please.
Bro, the group is going almost over 700 now. Our
Yes.
group way for Beyond the Darkness podcast is above almost 700. All of you guys, we invite you to go to our YouTube page. We set up a video how to visit the YouTube page.
Yeah.
Hit like, hit subscribe. And with this, we end the show. We thank everyone that was listening to
Yes.
us. And thank you to the Warrens again. And this is it at Beyond the Darkness.
El más allá de la oscuridad.